Disclaimer. These stories do not dictate my political beliefs or my political views. At the end of the day, they're just stories. Now on to the video. I remember the day Kamala Harris was elected president like it was yesterday. The air felt heavier, as if the weight of the world had shifted in an unsettling way. Everyone else seemed excited, but I couldn't shake the creeping dread that settled deep in my bones. Something wasn't right. At first, everything seemed normal. New policies, speeches about unity and progress, but there was an unnatural undercurrent to it all. The way she stared into the camera, how her voice echoed in my mind long after the broadcast ended, left me feeling as if I were being watched. My family didn't notice, and I couldn't explain it, but I felt it. We were all under her gaze. The real changes began slowly. New laws passed under the pretense of protecting us, but it felt like the walls of our freedom were closing in. One by one, people began to disappear. At first, they were dissidents, vocal critics of the administration. But soon, even ordinary people, like my neighbors, started vanishing. No one talked about it. No one dared to. Late one night, while scrolling through social media, my screen flickered. The newsfeed froze, and a chilling broadcast interrupted everything. A distorted voice echoed from my phone. The time has come. The Ascended One is here. Obey or be erased. The screen filled with eerie images of Kamala, her face contorted, eyes black as voids. The background of the video glitched, revealing glimpses of something horrific. Dark creatures, towering and menacing, wearing smooth white masks that had no eyes, no mouths, no features at all, no sign of life or emotion. I threw my phone across the room, but the images burned in my mind. I could still feel their presence, those faceless creatures. They were watching. The next day, the world felt off. People walked the streets in eerie silence, their faces blank, their movements mechanical. When I passed them, I could swear I saw those same white masks flash across their features for just a moment, before they returned to their expressionless selves. One night, I heard footsteps outside my window. When I pulled back the curtain, they were there. 2 of them. The creatures stood in the street, tall and impossibly still, their smooth white masks gleaming under the streetlights. They had no faces, no way of seeing me. But somehow, I knew they were watching. I backed away, heart pounding, but no matter how far I retreated, I felt their gaze on me. Every night after that, they were there, standing at different corners, closer each time. No one else seemed to notice. It was like I was the only one who could see them. One evening, I ventured out to warn my neighbors, but as I reached their door, I stopped. Through the window, I saw them, sitting perfectly still, staring ahead with dead, emotionless eyes. And behind them, in the corner of the room, stood one of those creatures. I felt its gaze on me, even without eyes. I fled, knowing there was no saving them. The more I tried to resist, the more the creatures followed me. I started hearing whispers in my head, telling me to surrender, that resistance was futile. The government announced that it was for our protection, that the creatures were there to maintain peace. But I knew the truth. They weren't protecting us. They were hunting us. One day, Kamala Harris came to my city to give a speech. I didn't want to go, but I felt compelled, as though the creatures themselves were pulling me toward the event. Thousands gathered to hear her speak. As she took the stage, something in her face had changed. Her eyes were completely black now, like endless voids. And behind her, the creatures stood in formation, their faceless white masks glowing under the harsh lights. She smiled, a wide, unnatural grin, and raised her hands to the crowd. "This is the dawn of a new era," she said, her voice echoing in the air like a nightmare. "You are all mine now." Suddenly, the ground beneath us trembled. From every corner of the city, more of those creatures emerged, crawling out from the shadows, their white masks gleaming, their bodies towering and formless. They moved without a sound, gliding through the crowd, reaching out with long, dark arms. As they touched people, Those touched simply froze, their eyes going blank, their faces empty of all emotion. I tried to run, but my legs wouldn't move. I stood there, paralyzed, as one of the creatures approached me. Its white mask was inches from my face, though it had no eyes. I could feel it staring into my soul. I wanted to scream, but no sound came out. In my mind, I heard Kamala's voice, calm and commanding. You cannot resist. You will become one of us. The last thing I remember is the cold touch of the creature's hand on my skin. My mind went blank, and the world around me faded into darkness. Now, as I write this, I know it's only a matter of time before they come for me again. They're outside my door. The creatures with their white masks, devoid of faces, devoid of any emotion. I can hear them, whispering, waiting. America is no more. We are all part of something darker now, something unstoppable. They've taken everything from us, our freedom, our emotions, our very humanity. And soon, they'll take me too. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Happy Election Day, everyone, and as always, stay safe and stay scared.